What is going on, guys? Wrong 12 and we are back with the amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows issue 5. So in the previous issue we saw Spider-Man get captured by Regent and Annie and Mary Jane come to his rescue. We also saw the Resistance's headquarters get taken over, so God knows what's happening to those right now, but we're probably going to find out. Now, in the review for the previous issue, I did say that I was going to be doing a physical comic giveaway for issue 4 of Renew Your Vows, and that was actually taking place on my Instagram, and you can still click the link in the description down below to enter that giveaway, but the winner for that will be announced sometime this week. And of course, I'll message you on Instagram, I'll talk with you through the details on what to do next in order to get your comic to you. So look out on my Instagram, guys, to check out when that is going to be up and when that winner is going to be revealed. Going into this issue, we're going to be seeing Regent fighting against Annie and Mary Jane and maybe even Peter, but we're going to have to wait and see. So guys, without further ado, let's jump into this. So as we jump into the issue, we get thrown right in from where the previous issue left off, with Annie and Mary Jane jumping through the portal and landing right in front of Regent, pretty much in the center of his headquarters. And of course, you've got the rest of the Resistance going after him. Now, of course, these guys have absolutely no chance against him, and he even says, "I killed the Avengers, so what's going to stop me from killing you guys?" And we also discovered that that was 8 years ago, and we also know that Secret Wars Battle World has been going for 8 years, so pretty much right at the beginning of Battle World, Regent actually risen up with power, so that's how long ago it was. That also gives us a pretty good idea of how old Annie is, because she was actually a baby at the beginning of this, so she's around 8 or 9 or 10ish maybe. I'd probably say around 8 years old, so that's just how young Annie is when she's in this situation. So moving onwards into the comic, you get this really brutal moment where Hawkeye shoots an arrow at Regent and he catches it, claiming that his spider sense kicked in and knew that that arrow was coming for him. And that is when we discovered that in fact Peter Parker has died, or he's gonna be dying very soon, because Regent has already got his power, he's already got to him. And we get this incredible afterlife dream sequence of like a flashback of Peter's entire life, seeing all of the love, seeing all of the goodbyes, seeing all of the hellos, seeing all of the good moments in his family. Not once did he see anything about him being Spider-Man or anything like that, just the things that matter to him most, and of course that's his family. Now, something I love about Annie here, we get like this little sequence of Annie fighting this guard, and it seems that this guard is probably going to beat her, and she just turns around and uses her height. And I love how she has like this playful attitude towards fighting this person. Like, she's 8 years old, she's like really young, but she brings this playfulness of playing Tig with him, or do you guys call it tag? I'm not too sure, but either way I call it Tig, and that's where her age actually shows. And it also suggests that she's got that same playfulness, the same as her father Peter Parker, which is awesome. Speaking of awesome, we got Annie there beating the crap out of that guard, obviously not knowing what he was in for, and Mary Jane suiting up in one of those armors very similar to Regent's to gain an advantage alongside her daughter. And I've got to say, she looks like a badass. Annie also starts coming up with a bunch of code names, and she comes up with AMP, which I'm actually quite fond of. To be honest, I'd rather not have a name that kind of represents her real name, because that stands for Annie Mae Parker. Maybe you guys can come up with some names for it in the comments below, that'll be a fun game to play. But in the meantime, whilst you guys are doing that, I'm going to continue with this review, and you can see that Regent has figured out that Mary Jane and Annie are down there messing with the controls to his suit, messing with all these powers in his suit, and of course Peter is hearing these people scream, he's hearing his daughter and his wife scream, and just as he's fading away, he realises that he's got this responsibility to keep hold of, and he literally bursts out of this tube that he's in and dives out of the window with Regent, out of the building, and it looks incredible. And the impact is really added to the situation when Regent turns and says that is impossible, once again showing that Spider-Man is capable of doing the impossible, doing the unthinkable for his family, and that's just awesome. So whilst these guys are tumbling to the ground, Mary Jane and Annie are busy disabling Regent's suit by destroying all of these controls that are on these tubes with all the dead superheroes and stopping the connection to his powers. And as you can see, Peter actually lays the beat down on Regent, but he doesn't seem to do anything, and Peter just begins to get obliterated by Regent's beams or whatever they are, and Annie senses this and jumps out of the window to go and help her father. Now, it's actually quite unbelievable that Spider-Man survived this long. I mean, he's coming up against Regent, and he's coming up a little bit short, to be honest. Like, his punches aren't doing anything, and it seems like he's actually at a losing state right here. And Annie just comes out of nowhere and actually obliterates the suit off Regent. Like, literally his suit just gets obliterated off his body. And at first I kind of thought, whoa, does she have a venom blast just like Miles Morales? But no, it turns out that she actually was given that inhibitor chip just off Hawkeye just then. One of his arrows actually has it in there, and it disables pretty much everything, and now Regent is left to take down Spider-Man Annie and Mary Jane all at once without his powers, and they literally lay the beat down on him. They take him out so easily, just like he's a regular person for once, and it must be so weird to be under Regent's control for 8 years, and then all of a sudden just being able to take him down instantly. And they actually take him down, and when Annie goes in to do something, he actually grabs her by the throat, and of course, she's the one piece that he needs for spider sense. Like, he can't have Peter's, so he's going to have Annie's instead, and Peter actually has a little bit of a backup plan here. But when I was reading this, you could really see that Peter was willing to give up everything for Annie. And at first, you know that metal thing that he took off Mary Jane? I thought that he was going to stab Regent with it. I literally thought he was going to kill him with it. But instead, Peter just tells a joke, it makes him laugh, and Peter explains the reason why he tells jokes isn't just to ease him and the public, but it's also to make his enemies laugh, so that it reveals their weak spots. And it's actually quite interesting to see maybe a god have the same flaws as the people that he's trying to control, and Peter takes advantage of that brilliantly. So as you see on screen right now, Regent has been taken into custody by what looks to be S.H.I.E.L.D., or at least people that can take care of Regent. And then everything just kind of goes back to normal. It goes back to Annie, Mary Jane and Peter sat around the table, similar to how the first issue first picked up with them sat around the table with baby Annie. And this is where it gets rather interesting, because towards the end it says, this could be just a happy ending, but not us, we always get a to be continued. So is that a little hint that maybe Renew Your Vows The Amazing Spider-Man is going to be returning, maybe with Peter and his daughter and Mary Jane still having a continued series? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, my honest opinion about the ending of this comic, it was kind of a little bit anticlimactic, as if it was setting up for maybe like a sequel or something along those lines, because Regent was a god. He killed the Avengers, and then all that happened was Peter stopped him, and then they went back to eating breakfast around the table. So it's a bit of an anticlimactic ending to the series, if I'm honest. But that doesn't stop me from rating it a 9 out of 10, because the entire series was just awesome, and I would so love to see this again. Maybe in the future, maybe we'll get a continued series of this. Hopefully Marvel is keeping that as a surprise for us, but either way, it was awesome. So guys, what did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. 9 out of 10. Go to the links in the description to follow me on Twitter and Facebook for all of the latest comic book news and updates. I've actually just previewed a few comic books on my channel that haven't even been released yet, so you can go check those out by clicking the link in the description. Don't forget about the giveaway that I'm doing on Instagram. You can still enter the giveaway now by liking the picture linked in the description. And also guys, follow me on Twitter to hear about updates about my videos, whether there's a video going to be today, tomorrow, when it's being edited, etc. And for more guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video, and I will see you all in my next video.